So for chest, I went with a Kilimanjaro first gear Kilimanjaro. I've had this for 2 years, bought it in 2015. It has got, of course, I wanted to go with high vis. It's got hypertext waterproof layer. You got the skid resistant D30 armor in the elbows, shoulders, and back. That was a extra purchase. On the trip, I did not take the liner just because of weight. I probably should have. Liner does make it more bulky. Of all my gear, this is the one that did keep me dry on the torso. The one downside is it was not very wind resistant. Wind found a way in. So on most days, and when it was normal days, when it was raining and in the upper 50s, or I'm sorry, upper 40s, lower 50s, I would just go with just a cheap Costco long sleeve shirt, a t-shirt, and this. I bought this at REI for cross-country skiing. I don't even know the name. I'll look it up and post the link. But the main thing is it's wind resistant. It does have this came helpful to really keep my sleeves and my gloves. But this really helped. So on normal days, the jacket, no liner, the thin thermal regular t-shirt, and this. When it hit, when we were leaving Inuvik and it was 32 degrees and snowing, I went all out. I dropped this thin one, went with a Old Navy or a Gap thermal long sleeve shirt. My dog is throwing up. A Gap long sleeve shirt, t-shirt. Actually, I dropped the t-shirt. Went with a thick, just a cheap Columbia fleece, and this. And that kept my torso warm. This is a touring jacket, so it does have a lot of pockets, which became very helpful on the long trip. I just found it helpful in storing gear. I will say that my friend who has a similar Kilimanjaro first gear, he didn't complain of any wind. He was on a KLR with an upgraded windshield. He did have some other issues with his gear. I do like this. There's a lot of ventilation options on this jacket under the armpits, and these don't really work well. But when it gets cold, you pull over and zip all these suckers up. Not sure what's up with the wind, because it does have some good shielding, it appears to, but when it's in the 40s and you're doing 65 in the rain, the cold and wind finds its way in. I still love this jacket, and I'm going to keep it for a couple more years. I do like the high-vis look. Helmet, I've gone with a 2015 Scorpion Modular EXO 900X. Again, the high-vis theme. Not the best helmet. I think I paid $220 for this. When we're riding in the 30s and 40s and rain, the visor would fog up a lot, so then I have to click it up like that. In the heavy rain, I had dirt all up in here. Dust, it is dust as well. 40s, probably wear a neck gaiter when it dropped into the 30s. neck gaiter and just a cheap $5, full fleece, whatever, baklava. Gloves, again, had these two seasons. These are the Alpine Stars Apex DS glove. These are good commuting gloves, waterproof, go over the cuff of your jacket, combination of leather and other materials. One odd thing I have noticed is on my right hand only, when I do wear these in the cold weather and rain, my middle finger and ring finger will go numb for the first couple hours with riding these. I don't know if I'm gripping too hard on the handlebars or what, but that's an interesting feature. Just like how waterproof these are, they are good warm gloves. Heated grips do help, especially when it dips in below 45. But again, back to the rain every single day. On the fourth day, these did start leaking, and by the time I got home, days 6, 7, and 8, these things were soaking wet by the end of every day. Legs. I bought these in 2016. This year, these are the rev'it Enterprise 2 pants. I am 6'4", 34-inch waist and relatively skinny. I picked up a 36 long, and these fit me well. The 34s were sold out. There is no ventilation, but for the riding in Alaska, these were great. I actually bought these based on the comments where some people said these wear hot, and that definitely came in handy. They are waterproof. We'll talk about that later. They do have a side pocket for riding. I wish they had 2 side pockets. No back pocket. 2 front pockets. I definitely carried stuff in. Just basic zipper. The legs have reflective. They're still not fully clean after slopping in mud on the Dempster Highway for a number of days. I did a couple trips through the rain this year. On the Dempster trip, we're at Anchorage to Inuvik in Canada. It rained basically every day. That was an 8-day trip. The first 3 days, these held up fine through pouring rain, no problems. On the turnaround day, it started getting soaking wet in the crotch, which was not fun. Other than that, they were great warm pants. What I wear under it, normally on normal days when it was kind of in the 50s, I just would either wear shorts inside, or these REI just thin travel hiking pants I've had. On the cold days, I went with shorts and kind of long john thermals. These are just cheap ones I got at Costco. My legs were always warm except when it started getting wet in the crotch. Feet. Again, I'm on a budget. There was just so much stuff to buy this year to get ready for the trip. This is one thing I skimped on. These are 20-year-old boots I've had in the Army. I was stationed in Alaska, so these are fairly warm, down to like 10 degrees. These are Matterhorn lined with quilting or Thinsulate lined, and they are Gore-Tex. They are very old and the soles are cracking. I snow sealed them before I left. They do go up pretty high, so I really like that. and they were definitely slopping the mud on the Dempster Highway. There was just a lot of mud we ran into, especially the last leg past Fort McPherson to Inuvik. It was just caked with mud. I felt embarrassed going in the hotel once we got there. I was having to get all the mud off of them in a mud puddle in the parking lot before I walked in the hotel, and I didn't even get it all. They have Vibram soles that are wearing down, just kind of leather rot on the side. Socks, on normal days in the 50s, I just wore office socks. When it dropped down into the 40s and the 30s, I did wear office socks and some wool hiking socks. The problem with those hiking socks is they weren't very long. They'd probably only come up to here and fall down a lot. My feet did stay warm, but just like with the gloves, the pants, these also kind of broke. The waterproofing broke, and the water found its way in. So probably from Inuvik all the way back to Anchorage, it rained every day and my feet were wet every day. So I will be looking for likely Alpine Stars adventure boots they have, probably buying those for the 2017 season. The one thing I did recently purchase was some just Wigwam ski socks, wool ski socks. I'm going to try these out. They're probably come all the way up to my knees. These should be some good cold weather riding socks for me.